Hi, everyone. I'm Fred Lee, and I'm delighted to be at the chat room here at Tyrant Studios.
Welcome to the chat room at Tyrant Studios.
Coming to you high above the legendary penthouse in downtown Vancouver.
Here we go.
And it was presented by West Coast Dream Machines, high-end, pre-owned, pre-loved luxury cars on Clyde Avenue in West Vancouver. I'm Joe Leary, along with Hall of Famer Danny Filippone, proprietor of this legendary venue.
Hello, Joe.
Hello. And Aaron Chapman, political wannabe. What's the future of Aaron Chapman? Bud?
Well, right now, after this episode airs in May, early May, the party will do the vote to tender who's going to be on the ballot.
One city
for One City Vancouver. It's interesting this year because three parties have sort of aligned to only submit 5 candidates each, so it's pretty competitive. And within one city, there's about 11 people all looking for what are going to be 4 spots. So it's
as they say at the penthouse, we got you.
Hey, there we go.
And what is the slogan you're going with?
Oh, well, aside from vote for Chappie, I don't.
Vote for Chappie.
Anything. Then the man with the answers is what I'm using. Yeah.
Our guest is somebody who I've known for a good long time. I think we've all known for a good long time, and I don't even know how to describe him in a single word.
Well, handsome is one. I can tell you that.
I'll take that, gentlemen. I'll take that.
Impeccably dressed, bon vivant, raconteur,
Compare.
A man about town. He's the guy that does everything. Mr. Fred Lee. Welcome.
Hey.
Welcome, Fred. Nice to see you.
It is an absolute pleasure. Can I just say this is the coolest space. How is it I have not received an invitation up until now?
Well, actually, I was in beautiful Palm Springs a few months back, and I was doing the old death walk, getting back onto the plane, coming back home, and Fred was exiting from the plane, going to Palm Springs, and I stopped Fred, and we had a good chat, and I said, when we all get back, let's hook up, and here we are. So thank you for coming.
And thank you for the invitation. This is quite the setup. I can't wait to hit the bar soon.
we call it the coolest radio broadcast in town.
That's it.
Without question. And also podcast. When someone says to you, hey, I'm Joe, what's your name? Oh, I'm Fred. Fred, what do you do? What do you say? What's the sentence you answer with?
You know, I'm sure, like all of us, carry many titles, but really at the heart of it, I am your community reporter. I am your biggest champion. I am the biggest ambassador for this city that we all get to call home.
100%.
And on a day like today, there is no other place that I'd rather be than right here in this city. And look at all these beautiful people who have made the time to join us and
playing hooky from work.
And Fred isn't even running for office.
I am
so
not.
That's what Chappie's
vote
doing.
for Chappie. Vote for Chappie. I like that.
There we go.
So when Fred came, I haven't obviously I saw Fred a few months ago. We were talking about have things changed in the city of Vancouver, especially we talk about nightclubs and entertainment. Like when I was doing things with you, Fred, back then, I mean, there wasn't an event, nightclub, bar, restaurant that you weren't at. And we talked about Malcolm Perry, one of Vancouver's original beat writers, right?
And certainly someone I aspire to. And, I love Malcolm, and I hope he's doing well. Often think of him. But yes, I mean, I've had the pleasure of doing this, covering everything that's happening in the city, from red carpet galas to festivals to openings, happenings, you name it.
Yeah.
I've had the privilege of doing it for almost 4 decades. And the city has changed. Back in the day, Malcolm and I and others were very privileged because we happened to work for media outlets. We happened to own a camera, and we were invited in. Behind the curtain, behind the velvet rope, to cover some of the biggest activities in the city. And now I think over the many decades now, with these things that we have in our pocket called iPhones or Androids, it's democratized that role.
Yeah.
Everyone now can report on what's happening in the city.
And they do.
And they do.
Yeah.
And so, it was a very special time of which Malcolm, myself, and others had, including Joe and all of us who got to cover some of the most amazing and extraordinary things that are happening in our community. And I have been incredibly privileged and continue to do so. And I appreciate all the invitations because, you know what? This city is worth celebrating, and it gets a lot of knocks, whether it's the cost of living, affordability, all the things that you're talking about, Chappie. But there's some great things that are happening in this city, and there are some beautiful people in this community, And that is what I get to do every single day for the last 4 decades, was meet with these people. And they're just ordinary people. They're your neighbors. They're your friends, family members, who really are dedicated to something that
and
means
doing something in town, and
for them.
I remember when I was writing for the Vancouver Courier when you were at the West Ender.
Yes.
And I remember your features every week, where you were at and stuff like that. Did you seem to sort of blossom into emceeing and comparing thing at work as some of those weeklies kind of disappeared on us, that you branched out? Or had you always been doing that as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I think, thank you. I think, as all of us, we've all diversified. We have to be generalists. The industry changes. I've had the privilege of contributing to all sorts of publications and magazines, whether it's the Courier, a province newspaper, the National Post, Vancouver Magazine. But the industry has changed, and you have to evolve.
Yeah.
So I meet with a lot of students who are journalists today, or aspiring journalists, and I say, you know what? You have to be nimble. You have to be agile. You have to be skilled at many things, whether it's learning how to do a podcast, obviously learning how to write, report, and all of that. But I do think today our roles have evolved, and I've had the privilege, to MC, auctioneer, do it all.
A little bit of everything.
Okay, but it's one thing to do a podcast. Another thing to do a podcast in a legendary venue with an open bar and catered food.
Yes. Okay.
Talk to him in 2 hours.
Okay.
That has not been on my CV, but I'm happy to apply, Danny.
Jumping in.
I am happy to apply. Although I think that role's already been taken.
We were
Good
talking
job,
about,
Joe.
we were talking about some incredible media events that we've had the good fortune to cover over the years. And I think in my history in Vancouver, the old late great Live Ent, Garth Drabinsky Company, when they would put on shows at the Ford Center for Performing Arts at the time, then known as the Center, Phantom of the Opera openings and stuff, and they would take over ballroom floors in the Hotel Vancouver and do an after party that would just knock you out.
Yes.
It was incredible. Are those days still around to some degree?
Absolutely. I mean, thank you.
I'm not on the list
You're
anymore.
bringing me back, but there are coveted invitations. And back in the day, in terms of arts and culture, Live Ent, that was the invitation you wanted to receive. And I remember feeling I had made it when all of a sudden I saw my name on that invitation. But there's been others since then, and of course in this city, there's been so many milestones, whether it's Expo 86, whether it's the Olympics. I mean, there is always a new generation of happening events. And right now, in less than a few weeks, the world is coming here.
It's coming
FIFA.
with a soccer ball. So
Yes.
I was going to ask you. So, I mean, listen, people keep asking me all the time, Danny, is it going to be busy? What are you going to do at the panels? How are you going to prepare? I don't really have an answer because, during the Olympics, it was 17, 18 days, Chappie.
Yes. Yeah.
And even then, boom, we were hit so hard. This is a little stretched out over a period like 35, 40 days.
Absolutely.
What are your thoughts?
You know what? It's great for the city. It just is another recognition of how this city is able to welcome the world. We just... we're still recovering from North America's 50 best bars.
Yeah.
And we had the world's, best bartenders descend in the city for a week, 2 weeks of activities, pop-ups. And now we've got the World Cup. And, there's the FIFA World Congress, which is happening very shortly right now. And it is basically all the delegates from around the world that are going to come descend on the city. Many of them are going to stay in the city and hang out until FIFA officially begins, and we have our 7 matches that the city is hosting. I mean, Danny, I hope you and your team are ready, but for me, it's always a sense of pride as someone who was born and raised here.
Sure.
I just love showing off this city. I love showing off the hospitality. And you know what? Vancouver has demonstrated it can put on a great show.
And we will.
And I know we will.
And
We're going to
will.
roll out the red carpet, and we're going to welcome everyone. And you just feel the energy. I mean, just imagine this energy times 1,000.
Fred Lee just oozes positivity.
I love it. I love
I
Fred.
think
great.
what you should do, Fred, is do daily affirmations for people that maybe are doubtful, thinking,
Having a bad day.
FIFA's going to cause traffic shit in downtown Vancouver. Yeah, it is.
Yes.
But you know what? Talk to Fred Lee. He'll walk you through
Absolutely. There's always positives to everything. And as I said, Chappie, and that's why you're running. So bless you for
and I'm born and
raising your hand.
I'm born and raised here yourself, so I feel the same way. And I think when I was 14 and wanted to play, soccer and just play, to have the World Cup come to Vancouver,
Unheard of.
Unheard of. Wouldn't believe it.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So I think I think the city's going to rally around once it's here, and they see things happening. You know, and it's going to be a great thing.
And I do think we need to hold people to account.
Of course.
Certainly our public servants, but
Yeah.
at the same time, I don't have the energy or the time to complain. I would rather use that time to fix things
Yes.
or to make things better.
Exactly.
And I really encourage, and I'm so blessed because my ecosystem, I'm sure like many of yours, is surrounded by beautiful people who want to do good things
Yeah.
for others. Service above self. And I am so blessed that I am surrounded every day, or I go every night into an event, festival,
Yeah.
fundraiser, where there is positivity, where the people that are greeting me are not there for themselves.
Yeah.
They're for something
Yeah.
greater.
I am so pumped. I want to run through that friendly wall right now.
I was going to say this has become almost evangelical
I
right
feel
now.
good. I feel good.
There is nobody that is more piped into this city.
Yeah.
And nobody that is more positive for the city than Fred Lee. Fred, it took us almost 3 years to get you down to the chat room. We will have you back. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
joining
For
us. Fred Lee.
Hey, thanks, Fred.
Gentlemen, thank you.